From Wall Street to Main Street to help small business owners have the same capital as corporate America and give them the same resources as a larger company. We cover business funding, business credit, scaling, business consulting, and much more. Check out the website at shieldadvisorygroup.com. Welcome to the show, The Liquid Lunch Project.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Liquid Lunch Project. I am Matthew R. Meehan alongside my partner, the Professor Luigi Rosabianca. What's on tap today, Lou?
Matt, the deal is dealing two pairs today. We've got Rohann and Eroslav from OrangeTrail to try to show small businesses in America how to handle and manage your ad spend. Eroslav, Rohann, live from Sofia, Bulgaria. Welcome to the podcast. Tell us, what is OrangeTrail?
Cheers, Luigi. Thanks for having us. Maybe I can go first. So in terms of OrangeTrail, we were founded on one major premise, which was we wanted to solve one of the biggest pain points in the advertising industry today, which is surrounding restrictions, bans, disapprovals. There's really not much content out there to help aside from your average, policy guidelines, and also the support from these platforms. But I'm sure you've seen the recent layoffs that Meta did, adding to that other platforms. What does that mean? Well, it means slower response times and you're not really getting help when you are banned. So OrangeTrail comes in and helps with the 360 compliance and advertising support for anyone that's having bans, restrictions, disapprovals. We can help you with every platform: Facebook, Google, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter.
Now, when you say bans, are we talking about just ad account bans, or are we talking about Facebook bans in general?
Yeah, so it's a good question. So there's actually different tiers of bans. So yes, there's ad account bans. That's the lowest tier. Then you can get your whole business manager. Your business manager in Facebook is where you have all your assets, all your ad accounts, all your fan pages, everything that is housed in your business manager. Your business manager can get banned as well. And also your fan page and your personal profile. You as a person can get restricted from advertising. That is the highest level of ban. That is really bad. There's different tiers. It's not just ad accounts. It's all kinds of bans that happen.
So, I'm seeing a lot of people. I have a lot of friends in the internet space, right? Their accounts are getting shadow bans across everything. They're really not able to do anything. So tell me, how do you guys solve this problem?
So we generally specifically only help with ad accounts. But if our clients has an ad account issue and then has a spin-off issue related to that, we can escalate internally with our reps. So how we are helping is we have direct contracts and agreements with ASPs from all the platforms. And adding to that, what we have is this direct line of support from reps who actually know what they're talking about. So everyone has access to like a marketing manager on Facebook, but oftentimes it is someone in a third world country who is just working in a call center, following a script. God love them. They're doing anything wrong, but they don't understand the nuances of advertising like we do. So in these cases, with a shadow ban, for example, we look at the core root of it. What was it that triggered it? What was the cause? And then we can actually escalate it through our reps internally. As long as you aren't doing anything shady, we could probably help you out.
So I've seen Facebook goes through these cycles, right? Like they allowed crypto on there at one time, and they allowed, I don't know, just different things. But crypto was a big one that sticks out of my mind, right? So I know I've tried to run ads on Facebook as well, and it says that it goes through and then it gets stopped. Why is that? Can you explain that to the average small business owner who has somebody in-house doing it and they can't get any feedback from Facebook on it either?
Yeah, so it's a great question. It's Facebook has an algorithm, so it picks out certain keywords, certain things, and inside of it, it's kind of like a black box in a sense that to a large degree, it can be quite variable. However, at the same time, there's certain things that you can do if you really understand the nuances of the platform. There's certain things that you can do to make sure that your ads don't stop and keep running. There's certain things you're avoiding certain keywords, avoiding certain things in your landing page, making sure if you, for example, make a claim, backing it up with studies, that kind of stuff. There's certain things that you can do to actually run ads in riskier niches such as CBD, vapes, and those kind of niches without getting restricted. And that's actually another kind of thing where we have a whole internal compliance team. We have people that were formerly at Meta, and we understand to a very high level exactly what you need to do to be able to be running your ads, even if your niche is riskier as well. So if you're able to do that, you obviously have a competitive advantage against other competitors that are selling a similar thing, but they can't get their ads approved, but you can.
Now, do you guys work strictly on Meta, or are you on other platforms as well?
Yeah, so good question. We have pretty much agreements with all platforms. So I'm talking Facebook, Google, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, Bing, and even Taboola. And some of the deals are a little bit unique. So with Google, we can actually give cash back on ad spend, which no one else does. So, spend through our accounts and you can get anywhere from 2 to 5% cash back on your ad spend.
That's awesome. So talk to me, first of all, tell me how you guys met.
So there's a dating app called Tinder. It's
information.
Right.
So Ari and I, I lived in Bali for 4 years since 2018, and then Ari, I believe, came in around 2019, 2020. So during this time, the entrepreneurial network there is quite small. Like everyone's kind of connected in each of the communities, and we just hosted a poker night. Not really for gambling or money, more so just to network and play for fun and talk business. And yeah, Ari was there, and then we discussed some ideas. I really liked his attitude and his energy. So yeah, from there we tried another business before this, which was a luxury chessboard business. So we were selling these chessboards worth like $250-$300. And then from there, this was like the next step as well.
Right. So did you guys take what you learned from selling? I'm assuming it was an e-com business, right?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. We actually, before we started OrangeTrail, we were each in the industry for years before. So before that, I had another paid ads agency where we were doing the marketing for clients. We're working with 7- and 8-figure brands. So through there, of course, I developed a lot of know-how. And then Rohan on his side, he, scaled multiple e-commerce businesses to, multi, 7 figures plus.
Nice. So there's still a lot of people in the United States, a lot of small businesses that still aren't on Facebook. So they don't really know where to start. Can you give them some tips, tactics, strategies to where to begin and what they should do before reaching out to somebody like you who's going to get everything going? There's got to be, what's the starting point?
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, what you need to do is just look at your offer and think about where is your core audience? Where are people who are looking to, get your service or your product, right? And if that is predominantly online, then absolutely you shouldn't waste any time and go online with your offer. But in terms of testing, so anytime you have any product or service out there and there's a demand for it, you need to test. You need to test your marketing materials, such as your videos and creatives and copy. You need to create a website that converts, landing page, and you just need to test different things. Once you have some kind of, ROI on your ads, and then it's just a matter of scaling, right? So what I would say is if, people out there are small to medium sized business owners, think about your product, your offer, and see, is that actually scalable via social media advertising? If so, the first thing you do is just launch some ads and test it out. And platform wise, what I would say is really need to tailor your product or service to the platform. For example, if your product is something that is for the elderly, 50 plus, maybe TikTok is not really the right platform for you. Instead, maybe you could try Facebook. So it really does matter on, audience, product fit, but also, just product market fit in general. Like, is it a scalable online offer?
What platform are you guys seeing the most success with these days?
Definitely the behemoth in the room, of course, for now still is Facebook and Google. However, TikTok is massively growing. There's people scaling to very large numbers on TikTok. Other ones like Snapchat and Twitter, we are still seeing some success, but they're more niche. Whereas on Facebook and Google, you can make a very wide plethora of products profitable, whereas in other platforms, it's slightly more niche. However, yeah, those are the behemoths right now.
When you guys have said websites and funnels before. So are you actually taking them off the platform into a funnel, or are you guys just running it to like a lead card on Facebook for your clients?
Yeah. I mean, that really depends on what you're selling. So our clients, generally, they have websites, 80% of them are e-commerce clients, but then you have some lead gen clients. So in which case, obviously a lead form within Facebook is also fine. It really does depend on what kind of business do you have. Is it a physical product? Well, in that case, obviously you need to take them off the platform, click onto your website and convert there. It doesn't even need to be a funnel per se. It doesn't have to be a one pager. It could be a, website. But if it's a lead gen, client who's selling leads for some dental care business, then the form on Facebook is just enough. You don't even need some kind of landing page.
Rohan or Eroslav, do you find that these behemoths, whether it's Google, Facebook, etc., are there certain industries that are red flagged within their trade? I mean, whether it's vaping, CBD, or is it basically just trade agnostic when it comes to marketing?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So there's certain industries which are completely forbidden. So for example, like obviously anything to do with like pornography or weapons, that kind of stuff, ammunition, that kind of stuff, of course, completely forbidden. However, there are certain industries which are, let's say, not completely forbidden, but let's say limited or restricted, which means that if you, as we mentioned earlier, if you have the know-how to run ads in a certain way, use a certain messaging on your ads and your landing pages, you can actually get ads approved. For example, CBD, like I said, CBD, vapes, melatonin, these kind of niches, they're more risky. Certain types of gambling, if you have the licenses, that can work as well. These type of niches, if you have the know-how, if you have the know-how to run ads compliantly and scale, you have a very strong competitive advantage because your competitors are going to try running ads in those niches and they're going to get restricted pretty much right away.
So, you mentioned weapons, right? So funny thing, because I actually bought it. There was this auto baton. You know what those are? You press the button, it pops out. Yeah. It's like a stick, the baton. But they actually marketed it as a walking stick. But when you went to the website, it was an auto baton. So that's pretty interesting way, I guess.
And you saw it from an ad?
I bought it off Facebook.
So you bought it. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So you bought off Facebook. Yeah, obviously those guys figured it out that, in terms of the compliance side of things, you can't physically have the copy like, buy this weapon and break this out. It's more so, hey, have this, walking aid, and obviously, what it is. The landing page shows what it is. The video also shows it, but it's the subtle nuances of the copy. And this is why copywriting, it's so important, because you can sell something in a different way just by wording it differently, but everyone still gets the picture of what it is.
Now, Rohan, let's take that to the next level. How do you folks maneuver all the bureaucracy, right? Because if you're representing a client in the EU, it's very different than representing a client in Mississippi, which is very different than representing a client in California, right? So kind of walk us through how you manage those idiosyncrasies.
Well, it really does depend on where you're looking to advertise said product. Okay. So if it is a restricted vertical, and even like election ads, those themselves are even super restricted, because anything political related, obviously we've seen all the meddling and all the, the cases where there's been a lot of meddling from other countries. So in restricted categories like this, it depends on, first of all, where are you launching to? If it's US based, state specific, then you need the relevant, documentation, the different things that you need to be able to run those ads. If that's not the case, and if it's a product like, CBD or melatonin, and you just target worldwide, in those cases, it's not even that big of a headache. You really don't need to have those licensing documentation requirements, as Ari mentioned earlier. In those cases, you just need to get your ad approved and live. As long as it's not breaking the policies of that country, you just need to be able to run those ads.
What's the biggest challenge you've ever had? Like, tell me you've represented a liquor distributor in an Arab nation. Please, I want to hear a great story.
Maybe not that one, but we have multi 8-figure brand selling weed on our account. Obviously we have NDAs, so we're not going to share names, but and you need to be very, very creative in terms of what kind of messaging you use, what kind of creatives that you use. There's, as we mentioned in the example before with the baton, which can be a walking stick, there's certain ways to be very creative to run ads which, by the letter of the law of the policy, they're compliant, by what you say. And when people perceive those ads, they understand that, hey, okay, this is saying this, but it's actually selling this. So there's with a lot of creativity and know-how, you can get quite creative with what you can do.
Yeah, and just adding to that, creatives is a huge part of this. You cannot be a big brand without investing heavily into your videos, your pictures. This is like what I always say is that you can have the best marketing in the world and the shittiest product in the world, and you'll still sell a bunch of it. But you can't have, the best product in the world, have shitty marketing and actually sell a lot of it. Marketing is really, really important. And creatives is a part of that. So now what we see is, people really investing heavily into different styles of creatives. You have UGC, you have professional studio, you have, first person view. So the creatives is really important. And when it comes to riskier verticals, you need double entendres, where it means one thing, but you show another.
Well, look, we had a very similar experience maybe a month or so ago that we appeared in some sort of publication, and our logo for the liquid lunch is a little martini glass. And they didn't want us to show the martini glass because some way, somehow, their viewership was going to be offended because of the martini glass. Now, we have nothing to do with liquor or distribution or sales, but some way, somehow, you have to eliminate that from that publication. But regardless, this is something that Matt wants me to ask you because it's the only technology that I can spell. How have you folks incorporated, if at all, AI in your business model?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Of course, the AI is disrupting everything as we see it. We use it every day in different ways in terms of writing copy for certain clients, in terms of summarizing things, in terms of, for example, storyboarding a VSL, which is like a video sales letter. So in many, many different ways we're using it. And our view on this is that, for at least for now, AI is not going to completely replace humans, but the competent people with AI are going to replace the incompetent people without AI and with AI. So that's how we see it.
You know, for a long time, guys, Google keywords was the only player in the game. Then Facebook came along, right? Facebook, Meta, I still call them Facebook, right? They've been the leader for a long time, but like every business has life cycles, right? We're infants, then we become teenagers, adults, and then eventually we die. Unless that business reinvents itself in a way, it's generally going to die. We've seen all the complications of everything that Facebook's done since, the 2016 election through now. They've had to change and get more compliant, right? Back then it was the wild, wild west. You could do whatever you wanted, right? Yeah. What do you think is going to happen with Google? Because I think Google is going to be the dominant player in the advertising space with their open AI ChatGPT alternative Bard, right? Do you think you're going to be seeing ads served up in Bard as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. The short answer is I don't know. What I could speculate is that they tried to rival OpenAI, but Bard has had some issues. It's not up to scratch from what I've seen so far. But Google, the size of its company just speaks for itself. It's always investing in the latest cutting edge technology, even with their paid ad side of things. So if you want to launch Google Performance Max campaigns, they were recently introduced. Performance Max campaigns have really improved results for certain advertisers. So these type of updates will be frequent with all platforms. It's not just Google. But I think at the end of the day, it's like, how can you get more market share? And the only way to scale up is you need more products, more customers, or more channels, right? So how do you do that? Well, they're trying to acquire and launch more products. And I think AI is just something everyone's jumping on now. I'm not sure how Bard will go. From the preliminary kind of results, it wasn't really up to scratch. Definitely not as cool as OpenAI. But look, I'm excited to see where it goes.
So I've jumped into Bard. When they first came out, it was terrible. It's picked up a lot. And the way that industry is compounding, it's just going to get crazy very fast. It already has in the last 4 months, right? So another thing Google just came out with, I believe I read, is that they're going to serve ads inside of personal Gmail accounts. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the way I view it is just extra real estate. If you view it like in traditional advertising, it's like, okay, so billboard is just extra real estate where to show your ads. And yeah, I mean, of course, if you have a good offer, you can make it work. And I think it comes down as well to what Rohan said earlier, is that there's all these different new things coming out, but the foundations of marketing and growing your business will still stay the same. And that is, are you somebody that has a good offer? Are you somebody that can position your offer well? If you can do that, whether it's showing your ads in Bard or in Gmail or in a Facebook ad or in a Twitter ad or whatever, you're going to make money. The best marketers, they're always going to make money. If, tomorrow, all the social media, the internet disappears tomorrow, the best marketers that are crushing it right now with, online ads, they're just going to run ads on newspapers and billboards, and they're still going to crush it. So there's all these different tools. There's all these different places where you're going to be able to run ads, but the foundations of marketing and being a good business person are still going to stay the same.
Nice. So where do you guys see this business going? What's 2.0 for OrangeTrail?
Well, in just the last year and a half since inception, we've scaled up to over 400 clients, 27 full-time employees, and over 20 million in revenue. For the next 12 months. Thank you. For the next 12 months, our goals are to double that to 50 million revenue. And, obviously, as you scale, naturally, you just need to add more people to the team. And one of the reasons why I think we succeeded so fast as well was that, if you're in a service-based business, you better make sure your service is top notch, because if it's not, the lifetime value of your customer is going to be very short. They're going to leave, they're going to jump to someone else. But equally, if they're happy, they can actually refer other people in the industry to you. And in which case, we had a very good referral commission system where we give someone 15% lifetime commission if they send someone our way. So for us, it's more so that what we want to do is have the best service for the most affordable price and just keep scaling up. The trajectory is double. And at the end of, let's say the next 5 years, whatever, we just want to become the one-stop shop for compliance and advertising support. Because right now, there's like some agencies might have like Facebook and TikTok, but they won't have all the others. We have all 360 platforms. We have partnerships and agreements and understanding of all. So you don't need to look further than just us. When you're with us, we can help you with anything.
Rohann, I want to ask you this question because you deal with clientele on a global scale. Walk us through your experience with clients that use TikTok inside the United States versus clients that use TikTok outside of the United States. How do you manage those profiles differently? And how much do politics and bureaucracy come into play?
Yeah, that's a good question, Luigi. So what I would say is that every single geo, no matter if you're from the US or from Europe, when you open your standard TikTok account, you're restricted in your targeting abilities. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know if that's just like, yeah, you're in the US, you can only target US and Canada, or you're in Europe, stick with Europe. That in itself is a huge limitation. And we actually bridge the gap with that limitation by offering our agency TikTok accounts, which you can target any country in the world. However, now we have this US ban for TikTok, that's kind of in the works, which means that the US is going to be limited in that regard. There's a lot of political stuff going on, behind the scenes. Personally, here's what I think. I think that Silicon Valley doesn't like that this company has grown so fast, so big, and it's just becoming untouchable. And it's not American or, North American or European. It's a Chinese company. And I think because of that, it scares them. And I think they're trying to like hinder it in some way just to kind of have some breathing room. But look, innovation is innovation. And if it comes from China or if it comes from somewhere else, you still have to respect that they built something that people really love.
Now, you guys are running a global business, right? You have staff in Colombia, you have staff in Eastern Europe. Talk to us about that process and the frustrations and challenges that come with it.
Yeah. So because we both, when we went into business, we kind of started with online first rather than starting with traditional business and then going online. It's a bit more seamless for us. However, of course, there are still challenges. There are time zone things. So we use Slack to communicate with our team members. We have weekly calls. But for example, sometimes we would need something from a European team member and they're already sleeping and the Colombian team member is awake and needs it. So of course, from time to time, we have those challenges. But the thing is, after the first few weeks of somebody working here, they kind of just adjust to it. And it's not really it's not a deal breaker. It's not this massive issue. Everyone has adjusted to it and we're quite used to it.
Tell me about the craziest ad you guys have ever run for somebody.
By the way, I should mention, we don't necessarily run ads for our clients. We just provide them the whitelisted ad accounts for them to run the ads themselves. Only some select clients where we see potential, we can offer them, hey, like we can do media buying for you because we have media buyers in our team. So just make that distinction. But in terms of, we have NDS, so we can't really share too much about the names. But in terms of the craziest ad, I can tell you a story about, we were at a conference and, it's the Affiliate World Conference. We're in Dubai and, it's a great, very well-run conference. A lot of great advertisers there, big companies. However, it also attracts sometimes, unfortunately, kind of the shadier advertisers, the black hat advertisers. And this one gentleman came up to us and said, oh, you guys help with, running ads with stability when, it's a high risk vertical. So I'm thinking, okay, he's probably going to ask me, hey, I have some CBD brand. And he said, I want to launch Elon Musk's face with an AI video, which says, send me 1 Bitcoin, I'll send you 2. So it was just like one of these scam ads, which you might have seen on YouTube back in the day. But he was so open about it. And I was a little bit shocked. I thought he was trolling me. But look, this is what happens in this industry. When you're behind the desk, and behind the computer, it's totally anonymous. you can get away with these things and you can run, shady ads. But from a moral point of view, an ethical point of view, we just don't facilitate any black hat ads.
Gotcha. So you guys are offering the white label agency listed accounts. You're not actually running the ads for them. Are you guys doing the creative?
Yeah, right now, for the most part, no. Our core service is we offer the accounts. For that, we offer the compliance solution. So we're actually able to look at your funnel or your offer, your ads. We're able to tell you exactly, hey, change this, change that, change this, and it's going to run. We're able to offer that support. But that is our core service. For, like Rohan said, for a very select few clients, we do the media buying and sometimes creative. But our core service is providing the agency accounts, the compliance support.
That's awesome. Guys, thanks so much for being here. We want to be respectful of your time. Why don't you tell the audience where they can find you and get in touch with you?
Sure. I appreciate you guys having us on. So for anyone out there who is struggling with advertising bans, restrictions, compliance issues, you can always reach out to us, OrangeTrail. You can either Google us or go to our website, orangetrail.io. Have a chat with our team members and see, are you eligible, first of all, and if we can actually help you out with an agency ad account.
Awesome. So I have a question for you guys. Since you're a global-based business, if you only had one country you guys could be out of, what country would it be?
Well, America, no doubt, of course. I would say America personally. Maybe Rohan, you have a different. But you're saying one country we can work with, or one country we're based in?
Based in.
Based in. Okay. To be honest,
that changes things.
That changes.
You want American clients, but you want to live somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. To be honest, that changes. So I would say, we're online first, so it's definitely not America. I would say there's a lot of other countries better than America for this. Bulgaria is quite good for this, to be honest, but also other countries like Singapore and other countries are quite good for online business. And Dubai is really good.
Rohan?
Yeah, after 35 countries visited worldwide, I can honestly tell you, Eastern Europe is the last frontier. You have the mix of beautiful women, great quality of life for what you pay. Also, it's a little bit lawless, so it's good in that regard that you can pay your way out of some things.
But also, in case someone is listening, we just want you to know that Matthew and Luigi love having the IRS as a partner.
But Bulgaria or Dubai for me.
So Eastern Europe has a lot of software engineers, a lot of coders, right? It's a big market for them.
There's a lot of very smart talent here for sure.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Everybody, that's a wrap. The Liquid Lunch episode. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to the show. And make sure you subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. We'll see you on the next episode of The Liquid Lunch Project.